Hi everybody, this is Vanessa with OKC Face Painter, and today I am redoing my how to clean your dual action airbrush video because apparently y'all couldn't see what I was doing last time. Sorry. Alright, I am using my master airbrush dual action that I have been doing a few videos tonight with. See, you get COVID and you can't work, so what do? Videos. Anyway. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is take this off, and I'm leaving my compressor on because we need that pressure for later. So take this off. You want to do it gently because paint can build up in here. It can splurt everywhere, which is not good. Alright, so we got this. Now, I'm going to use this. What I normally do with this is I keep it for storage with a sponge at the bottom and a sponge in the center, and I store my guns in here, so just the tip of it is in the alcohol. That way, if I don't have time to clean this out, I can just store them in here until I get home and then I can do a deep clean. Just depends on the job. But today, we are using it to clean this. And this is called Lock and Lock Stackable Airtight Container, which I got from Amazon. I just like the size and the shape for my particular purposes. Alright, so we're going to take this out and we're going to drop it in there, and that's going to keep it nice and clean. Okay, so now we just need to put the lid on because you do not want to spill your paint. That is a tragedy nobody needs. Alright, so we're going to put that out of the way. I'm going to put the lid on so the alcohol does not evaporate and it does not spill, hopefully. It's one of the reasons I like these things. Nice and tight. Alright, there we go. So now, back to the gun. So what you want to do, this is very important, the first thing you do, and you're keeping it attached to your compressor, is you want to clean this out because there's probably a bunch of paint sitting in here, and you're going to clean it out again. But there's a reason we're cleaning it out now. ×2. There we go. So it is a Q-tip dipped in alcohol. Alright, so we got that as clean as we're probably going to get. Now we take our handy dandy trusty spritz bottle. Here's the lid I usually use when I'm trying to clean myself up. And it just happens to fit this piece as well. This is a different one, obviously, because that one is still cleaning. But you take this, you put it back into the hole that the paint goes in. Yeah. Are we on there? I think we're on there. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Alright, now I'm going to run some alcohol through here until this runs clear. And you want to stop it and start it a few times because sometimes the paint will just kind of sit, and that like creates a vacuum pressure that pulls a little bit extra paint out. And go back clean. Alright. And you can turn up your air pressure if you want to, just for the cleaning, because it helps to push the paint through better. Okay. So, again, trying to keep it from splattering everywhere. Keep this nearby, because we might want to do it again later. Okay. Probably shouldn't do that. So, this little flange right here is important to not damage, and don't do what I just did. Because if this bends, it can disrupt the spray pattern of your paint spray. So we're going to take this off first. Notice the needle doesn't look that dirty, and that's because we just sprayed all that alcohol through here. But unfortunately, even the tiniest bit of this paint left in here can clog it. So this is a deep cleaning basically, which I have to do like every single freaking time. Blech. I think with the better brushes you probably don't have to do it quite so often. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Anyway, so I put this, which is one of those little scrubbies, on a ring. You can get that just about anywhere that you have the supplies for this. And you're going to put the smallest one in here. Now it's not going to go all the way through. Why? Because the needle hole right here is too small. So we're just going to scrubbity through there as well as we can. Now this needle hole is too small for a lot of things. The only thing I can get through here is a very small guitar wire, which I have somewhere. But there might be special pieces you can get for it. I just use the guitar wire, and I just put it through there and just kind of run it through a few times just to make sure that the extra paint is out. So we got that. Now you might be able to use your needle. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to put that to the side. Now we're going to use We're going to clean this. Another Q-tip. The tip of this gets very dirty usually because this is of course where the paint comes out, and it likes to just kind of sit in here. This part doesn't get quite so dirty. You might not need to clean it, but if you do, go back to your scrubbies, get a big one, dip it in the alcohol, and go in here and scrubby. Okay? Flush it out if you need to. You can just take another spray bottle and just kind of put it right in the hole, and that flushes it out. And I think you can do that a little bit for this one. It just doesn't work as well because the hole is so freaking tiny. But go ahead, have fun with it. Probably when you run the alcohol through, you don't really need to do that, but whatever. All right, so now, I hate doing this part. Okay. You're going to, whoa. Okay. Probably can't do that, actually. Let's go ahead and turn it off and get all that extra air out. Whoa! I wonder if we could... I'm gonna try it. Sounds like fun. Let's do this and see what happens. Ha ha ha. Ooh, the extra air we have. Does it work? No, just air. You know why? Because without that thing on the end, alcohol doesn't, or, well, whatever's in here doesn't come out. Just air. Sadness. Okay. Well, you learn. Alright, we're getting all that air out. I've never tried doing that before, so don't ask me questions. Okay. So now I'm going to take this off. Alright. Now the thing you really don't want to damage is the tip of this needle, which is very hard to focus on. Because that needle, if it's damaged, it either will not spray at all, or it will spray in a bad pattern that'll make it like splat everywhere. So you definitely don't want to hurt this. You're gonna have to replace it if you hurt it. Some people are really like amazing and they can actually, you know, reposition it, like they hammer it back or whatever, and then they file it, and they do. I'm not that cool. So I suppose if my needles were, you know, over $100 a piece or something, I would do that. Anyway, so you're going to loosen this a little bit, this little guy right here. Now, every one of these is different for what I'm going to be showing you here in a minute, but this is, I'll just show you what this one does. So you're going to take this out. Look at that dirty needle. Ew. Okay, and we're going to take either a wet wipe, or you can just use another paper towel dipped in a little bit of alcohol. And you're going to clean that off. Okay? Now while that is out, we're going to do a couple other things. You can let go of this and just be really, really, really careful not to disturb this piece right here. But I'll show you what happens when it's disturbed. And I don't mean the band, even though the band is awesome. Okay. So now we're going to take the biggest scrubby. We're going to go through the center here. Because sometimes, not always, but sometimes paint will collect right in here. Ugh, gross. Okay, so we got that. Yucky, yucky, yucky. So collect here, collect here. Those are two spots that you're probably going to have problems with. Now, if this comes out, I really hate it when it happens. Okay, so there's a couple of parts to this. Ooh, are you dirty? Oh, it's dirty. That means that it went all the way down there. So that means we're going to get this back. Clay. Dip it in our alcohol again. And we're going to go further down the barrel. If we can. Actually, I might need a smaller brush. Okay, smaller brush. Down the barrel we go. Yeah, that went way down. Because sometimes the paint will collect up in here, even. So Now we got that hopefully somewhat cleaned out. Okay, here we go. The pin, I think that's what this is called. As you can see, there is a sort of a hole in the center there. That's where the needle goes through, okay? So you want to position that where the hole is facing this way and that way, if that makes sense. There's a little depression on the bottom of this. It's like, well, it's depression. I don't know. I'm sure there's a better word for it. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I don't feel good. There's a little trigger piece right here, right? You want to pull that back all the way and hold it with your finger. So this depression piece on the tip of this, there's a button inside of here. You can't really see right now, but if you look inside of there when you have the gun, there's a little button, kind of raised piece, and it's going to fit that neat little depression there. And you can feel it because you can push it down. You can feel the resistance. It'll feel like a button. And you just let that piece go and you leave it there and you try not to move it in the slightest. Because if you move it, then the needle will not align properly and then you got to mess with it again. So try not to move it. All right, this is sewing machine oil, which is in this amazing bottle. Why? Yeah, it's a shampoo bottle. You know, one of those things for trips. You dip it right in that hole and then you close it and you don't have to worry about spilling. That's why. So, machine oil. The reason why you use this is to lubricate this mechanism while it's going back and forth. You're going to carefully reinsert it and make sure you gently push it up against that trigger piece. If it has too much resistance, then that means that this has gotten out of alignment and turned, so you got to reposition it. You do not want to push this up against it because you'll be damaging the tip. As you can see, the alignment was good. Even when you're putting the alignment in, you're going to feel a little bit of resistance, and you just try to push it, and it'll just release if it is aligned properly. If it's not, reposition. So now this is not going anywhere. Whee! Okay. So we got that. Now, woohoo! We're going to take our little heads. Where did I put those guys? They're there. I'm going to put these back together. Okay. So this one goes on top of these. And you're going to put it back over the needle. There you go. Make sure the needle's pushed all the way to the end. You can feel its resistance against this piece right here. And then you close it, or turn that tight. And then you just put this back on. Now this part right here, you shouldn't really mess with too much. You can take it completely out, but I would not. So this is like the guard for the back. Keeps it from getting bent on the needle. Ta-da. All right, there you go. Now that's pretty much as clean as you need it to be, but if you really feel like it, if you're feeling industrious, you can run alcohol through this one more time just to make sure that there's no little bitty pieces going on. But this should be as clean as you need it to be before your next job. And then you'll just, when you start the next job, you're going to want to run this through again. And then you're going to want to take the needle out, oil it again after you clean it, and then put it back in and run this again, or vice versa. But you know what I'm saying. And then it'll be good to go. So that should be it. Let me know if you have any other questions. I appreciate your time. Talk to you guys later. Bye.